We can open the door. Like,
Is the air conditioner on?
Good move with the
That's why I make the big bucks.
All set.
Thank you. All right, I will call to order the meeting of the City of Albany Residency Review Board. Present as far as board members, we have Councilwoman Joyce Love, Councilman Owusu Anane, Chief of Staff David Gallen, representing the Mayor's Office, and myself, Marisa Franchini, Corporation Counsel. A quorum being present, we'll move forward with the agenda. We will skip the first item, which is approval of the minutes. We will move on to the second item, which is an application from the Water Department for the position of senior accountant. Attached to the agenda, we have the request for residency waiver, which was completed by Commissioner Coffey. So I will turn it over to the commissioner to give us a little overview of the position and the applicant.
Let me give a little background also, just kind of on the department finance side of what this whole thing I think is really kind of the genesis. As a public authority, we have a pretty potent finance department, and we had a CFO, we had someone actually working kind of in a senior accountant capacity who transferred from our department to the payroll assistant payroll director back in, made that decision in April. We had actually created a position in the department, and before that called the deputy CFO, in an effort to try to create a position and a pay grade that would sort of stay, but that didn't work. So when we had that resignation, we posted a deputy CFO position on April 21st. Over the course of several weeks, we had applicants, but nobody really qualified that fit what we were really looking for the deputy CFO. So working with the HR department and the civil service folks, we changed that title to a senior accountant position, and that was posted on September 6th. And we changed it. It did attract a few more candidates. We wound up with 7 candidates. None of the candidates are applicants. 7 candidates that were qualified by the HR folks. None of them lived in Albany. We had one from Rotterdam, 2 from Schenectady, 1 from Gilderland, 1 from Colony, 1 from Menands, and 1 from Latham. While all this was going on, our actual CFO had resigned, and we had posted and recruited for a CFO. We didn't have any candidates for that until we went to a recruiter who brought in a candidate for us that we wound up paying for. And that's someone I think some folks in the city of Chris Powers had a residency in I guess in the Scotland area, Carswell area. He was moving back up here from Manhattan to be closer to his, I think it's his mother's property. So we kind of fortunately walked into that one. It cost us a little bit, but we were able to fill that. So this is really a critical position for us, and we had one outstanding candidate. They were relocating from, family was relocating from Manhattan, and that's the applicant who had before you, who they bought, her husband, that's an IT tech, works for Albany Med. They bought a property in Latham in January of this year. So, we thought that, like when you try to get a waiver, someone might move, it's maybe a little problematic. As we get people to think about even relocating in this job market, I just read something, folks that have purchased a home since July of 2022 are probably looking at a 13-year period to get break even under purchase because of the interest rates and where they're at right now. So I hate to be before you again with the residency waiver request, but we have an outstanding candidate who we've got before you who has the types of knowledge that we need working in a public accounting. She's a CPA and has a master's degree, experience with project accounting. As you know, we've got about $20 million a year of capital projects. Most of them are grant funded or have some financing that we need to kind of track against the different financings we've had. So she's got a lot of that project accounting experience. So that's kind of where I'm at. It continues to be a difficult market, for a lot of positions. We have an engineer position that we posted that probably will be a problematic fill for us, but we'll be patient. We posted an accounting one position, not too long ago. So far, I've got 3 applications for that. They're all, again, maybe we've got Clemens Finance and Schenectady, so.
But let me ask you a question. So you said you had 3 applications for other
Yeah,
jobs,
but this one we had 7 applications.
but this one we had 7. Did any apply from Albany that didn't qualify? Or we all?
We don't really normally see those, Joyce, unless we ask for them. I think they've been pretty much given us everybody that's applied. If there is no accounting experience whatsoever, they probably would not qualify that, but they look for, the keywords, the search words on
Right,
those
right.
things. If that's accounting or a position that had accounting in it, they normally qualify that. That's when we'll vet them a little bit
Right.
further.
And how much did this salary pay?
The range of this one, I think this hour is going to pay 75,000, what the offer was. The pay actually goes up higher than that. I think that pay grade goes up to maybe 85.
Okay.
But this one we offered her 75.
And then how long has this person been in this position
6.
already?
The person in this position,
Yeah.
you have to-
How do you pronounce the name?
I knew you were going to ask me that. I believe it's J18.
No. Okay, right.
We're going to refer to it.
I saw that
in
when I
the
looked at it.
number 2. For number
Say it
1.
one more time. You gonna try to take a shot at it?
I believe it was J18.
Okay. All right.
So wait, has she started or no?
No, that's not started.
All right, so she has not started.
Not started yet, but we've got her on the hook, and we kind of made an offer out there. We'd like to get her on board because we are struggling.
Oh, so it says employees hiring date. If we
If
pass
it'll
it,
be November 13th.
it'll be her hiring date.
Yeah.
All right.
And the CFO you were able to hire to live in Albany.
Yes. Yeah, we're fortunate. His mother lived in Albany. He's taken that house in Scotland, and I think he's pretty well known to a lot of people. His powers. So that's where we're at. I mean, frankly, as I said before, I would rather not be here for these things, but we've got a department to run, and we're looking at an employment market. The jobs came out today. There's 150,000 jobs created. The unemployment's only 3.9%. That's about what the unemployment rate is here. And I'm a math guy, so I'm doing the math. To start with 100,000 people live in Albany. You take out the kids that are under 18, people over 65, and the people that are actively working. We're probably down under 15,000 candidates that would even be in an active job market. And we start looking at that number, how many would have the qualifications for some of these key positions, it narrows it down a little bit further, so.
Yeah, I'm hiring, I have a vacancy in my office and I've never received so little applications. I think I've received 3. I never have I received so little.
Yeah, my sense is on the engineering applications, we've got, and we've actually, frankly, it's the help when the council and the folks, when we created that pay scale, and that's helped quite a bit, because we finally have, in my view, salaries that are fairly competitive for the public sector locally here. We'll never compete with the private sector, but that's not the deal here. A lot of people like working in the public sector for a reason, and I think the salaries we offer now and the benefit package are pretty attractive. But just trying to get people, a lot of times the issue is, these aren't entry level positions. So a lot of times these people are already established in other jobs. And some of the candidates, other candidates that applied, there's a candidate that, been probably working 20 years experience for a pretty well-known developer, had a lot of experience we'd be looking for was a company, and at that point, they're established, you're likely not going to want to move. That's just the hard reality of what we're dealing with. My sense is if we really wanted, if we're going to continue to work to post these highly technical positions, we can, I think the Join Albany campaign is very positive, very effective, but my sense is we're probably going to have to wind up to a paid recruiter to try to get those types of candidates.
Or an outside contract.
Hmm?
Or an outside contract.
Well, we need 40 engineers.
I know.
That's the issue, because we had to get outside, we have to go to outside consultants for these things, then we're paying three times the compensation for an in-house engineer, for example. So that's just the reality of the job market. I think anyone you talk to in the private sector, the public sector, will tell you pretty much the same thing. Not a lot of people looking.
So, she moved to like Latham because the wife got a job, or?
She's the spouse, she's the wife. The husband has a job at Albany Med. I
Okay,
understand as a IT person, and they purchased that house. They were in Manhattan and they moved up here early 2023. They bought a house in Latham.
gotcha. And also, when they apply for this job, do they know that they have to live in the city of Albany?
They know there's a residency requirement.
They were made aware?
We make everyone aware it's a residency requirement. That may be one reason you don't get a lot of applicants in the first place. But people are aware of it. We tell them there was an opportunity for a waiver. And this candidate, we felt was strong enough that we wanted to go to bat in this for a residency waiver.
And also, are they interested in ever moving to Albany, or at this
I
point?
didn't ask that question, Owusu. Like I said, they just bought a home in Latham in January of 2023. I'm sure the package that they got was, at this point, you'd want to try to sell and buy a home. It's onerous. I did not ask that question.
So, just to be honest, thinking like, there's a possibility that in a year, they'll be asking for another waiver.
It's very possible. These are good for a year, so.
And then the salary you said is 75K, but could go to
75,000.
85 is a range,
It's 75,000.
75,000.
Salary that the range for the position is lower than entire. You kind of stuck that one more in the middle.
And the 7 candidates, right? Was there a minimum, or like, was it bachelor's required? Like, what's the minimum degree?
For the senior accountant, you really need a bachelor's degree. You need a graduate degree. We did not ask for a CPA. In our business, that's a bonus, that's a positive.
Right.
We can have that. You gotta have a bachelor's degree. This candidate has a master's degree and a CPA. And frankly, the thing that we liked about her, if something happened to Chris Towers, or if the CFO left, she could step in and fill that position in a heartbeat. That's how strong her skill sets are.
I mean, I say this publicly, and, as relates to some of these waivers and why I wanted to be on this committee is that I think about Albany residents. I see them all the time, and there are people who are struggling and looking for employment. I hear people that's looking for employment opportunities. And I know you said this is not an entry-level position, but when I speak to some of my colleagues, even just now, when you think about accountants in the city of Albany, and HR is doing a good job with marketing the city and trying to make it attractive with residents. But I cannot support, those who decide not to buy a house or live in the city of Albany. Albany cannot be a place where it's good enough for a paycheck, but not a place for you to live. And I know that, they made the decision to move into Latham, but right now the tax base of our city is struggling. We're constantly asking our state for $15 million, with 40% of our residents are paying for 100% of the services. And by continue to give these waivers, it's not really contributing to our tax base. Some of these individuals, once the day is done, they head back to their cities and towns. And I think that for this city to move forward, we need people who are, committed to this city. If this city is good enough for you to collect a check, I think it should be good enough for you to stay. And I also understand, the council part, with the pay study that we did, and we're giving increases to pay, so it's no longer about the pay. I think that, these waivers cannot continue. I cannot support this waiver. I understand that for individuals who are making at least a commitment, an attempt to say, okay, I can't find a house in Albany, I can't find a place to rent. But this is not the case here. This individual, I believe, have made up their mind that Latham is where they want to stay and live. And I think maybe they should apply for one of those jobs here. Over the county.
Next question. When did she apply for this job? After they got here or
Oh,
before?
yeah, they moved in January. We didn't even post this job until September.
Okay,
So it's been technically, well,
so she just She was here in January, but she was
She's,
in late.
she's still working in Manhattan.
Oh,
Her
okay.
husband,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
she has been working in Manhattan.
She's waiting to
Well,
move up here.
She's waiting to move up, waiting to, looking for her position, correct?
So the job was posted essentially 2 months.
The job was originally posted in April. We changed the title to try to get applicants. It's pretty much the same qualifications.
But what I'm saying is
just
that
a different
the
title.
title was
The title.
September. It was
Yeah,
done in
the title.
September, so essentially
September
months.
6th.
September 6th.
Yeah.
Typically, we hear about 4 to 5 months that the job hasn't been filled. I mean, 2 months, it's just.
Well, like I said,
It is tough.
we're subject to a third-party audit as a public authority. We're short people. We would not be in this position had we not lost one of our key people who made a transfer to the HR department. So that's triggered a lot of this.
And the reality is when work needs to get done, like he has outside auditors coming in, he'll have to go to outside contractors. Like,
Right now, we've already got, right now, I've got an outside temporary employee working in this position that we're paying $3,300 a week to get some work done while we're waiting to fill the position.
That's a lot.
And they don't,
They don't live in the city, no, he
these
lives in Colorado.
consultants are
Wow.
not gonna live. in the
It's costing us $83 an hour
Wow.
to have this work done.
Yeah.
That's the work.
Like, so
that's an alternative.
The work just has to get
The
done.
work has to get done, we can't wait 5 months.
Oh, I understand.
But it's just, the job was posted for less than, 2 months, and I get it, you can't find anyone, but look, like I said, you've come in front of us for specialized positions, like, the gentleman that we approved down in Queens, because it's like, I think you deal with horses or whatever the case may be. But accountants in the city of Albany, I just fail to believe that, we don't have individuals that will be interested in working for a wonderful department like yours, with a wonderful commissioner, and 2 months is just,
I came to you,
not
I came
enough.
to you with a residency waiver for a truck driver, with the CEO. I mean, it's not just high wage positions. Positions are hard to fill,
I don't know that many accountants.
you know?
Yeah,
Again,
I spoke to some members of the council, and they cannot support this. I mean, I cannot support this. I just think that there are accountants in the city of Albany or individuals who, if we do hire, they will make some type of intent to want to move into the city. But this
I
is,
would love, if you could
Yeah.
refer, when these things are posted, if you could refer those people to us, I would interview them in a heartbeat.
yeah, okay, that's fine. Send it to council, send it to the full council, moving forward.
So-
But if you can't,
For myself, right now, and I'm gonna speak for myself, I will vote, I'm gonna vote yes, but when we get into this position, this predicament, again, it'd be good if the council know that you're looking for somebody, you know what I'm saying? Maybe we can help do some,
That's a good idea.
I'm not talking about just the water department, I'm talking about everywhere. I'm not just talking about you, Mr. Coffey, I'm talking about other commissioners, the council is there for whatever help you need. I mean, we just don't,
We can send job listings over to their staff when we have one.
right, and we
Yeah.
could post it, but I will vote yes on this.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve this application for this position, and this candidate for the 1 year period. And I'd ask for a second.
And I'll set it based on the fact that I think it meets all 3 categories. So there might be a hesitancy on category B, but I still don't think it's category A and C.
Okay, all those in favor?
Alright,
Aye. Against?
yeah.
Who's in the negative? Okay, the motion passes. So thank you all for your time. I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
okay.
All those in favor?